everyone, I'm Kaylin Simonson, Miss Orange County, and today is my first vlog. So I wanted to give a little bit of a background about my platform with the Miss America organization entitled Speak Up, Giving a Voice to Victims of Sexual Assault. So 1 in 4 college-aged women will be sexually assaulted during their 4 years on a college campus, and 1 in 16 college-aged men will actually be sexually assaulted as well. And I was one of these women. And I guess what I want to do is I want to share a little bit about my story. I was raped on April 2nd, 2013 in a dorm room on my university's campus. And I met my assailant online through social media. I even had mutual friends with him. I went as far as asking these mutual friends what they thought of him. They all agreed he was a great guy, so I agreed to a date. It was a Tuesday night. I was wearing sweatpants, a backpack, and flip-flops, and it was a night that has forever changed my life. He was arrested, suspended temporarily from UCLA pending an investigation, and a week later, the story was on the front page of the UCLA Daily Bruin and the Los Angeles Times, and 2 other girls who he had sexually assaulted months before me, separate instances, came forward, finally, had spoken up. And at first I was extremely upset because if girl number 1 or girl number 2 had maybe said something, then it wouldn't have continued to happen. But then I realized it is really hard to speak up and say something. And so because of me, I've been able to hold this person accountable for what they've done and essentially end their chain of violence. So because of me, this won't happen to girl number 4, 5, or 6 by this same person. So since then, what I've been able to do is I have been traveling the entire state of California, sharing my story and hopefully encouraging other girls that are silent in the audience to really speak up. So what can we do to resolve this issue? First and foremost, I think we should talk about it. I think yes, it is traditionally a very taboo topic, but by giving a voice to this, I'm encouraging other victims and survivors to also use their voice. And I think the more that we speak up and make sure our voices are heard, the more society will realize that there needs to be an environment where survivors and victims can be supported. I think next, it's also really important to know the definition of consent. Recently, Governor Jerry Brown just passed the Yes Means Yes law in California, which standardizes affirmative consent throughout the entire state of California, which is great because basically, in terms of a legal standpoint, if we're going to prosecute anyone, consent is now only gained by a verbal yes. So consent cannot be gained by taking advantage of the incapacitation of another person or by using force, fear, intimidation, or coercion. And I think it's just really about respect. Like I said, we need to realize that we need to respect everyone as individuals. Also, it's not our responsibility to not get raped. That responsibility lies with the perpetrator. What I think we can do as a society to prevent this is prevent the problem first and foremost. And what I'm really encouraging people to do, victims, is to speak up. Because when you speak up and report your sexual assault, you are holding this person accountable for what they've done to you. And you're making sure, in turn, that it won't happen to someone else. I just knew that I wanted to say something because I didn't want this person to potentially sexually assault or hurt someone else because I didn't say anything. So really speak up, hold this person accountable for what they've done to you. Don't ever let the actions of another person affect the person you want to become. And that's how you become a survivor.